Today's lesson is food allergies when your body doesn't like what you eat. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
I am Roger, and today we're going to talk about food allergies. Okay, if you have an allergy, of course, you have some sort of reaction to something. Lots of people are allergic to pollen, for example, or they might be allergic to other things in their lives. But today we're specifically talking about things in food, okay, that cause us to have allergic reactions. So again, an allergy is the situation in which you have a reaction to something when you're in the presence of that thing. And the phrase we often use to describe this is, I am allergic to something. I'm allergic to peanuts, for example.
Oh, okay. So yes, you can have food allergies, and of course, we can have other allergies. You might be allergic to pollen or pet hair or something like that. There's just something in the makeup of your body that doesn't like certain things around you in the atmosphere or in your diet, possibly. A lot of us discover these allergies when we're quite young, and some of them you can sort of deal with. You can take certain medicines and drugs, but food allergies can be one of the most sort of lifestyle changing if you have to be really worried about what you eat and examine menus and ingredients lists on the backs of food packages very carefully. This will be something you're always quite aware of, but it is important because certain food allergies can be life-threatening. They can be lethal. If you really can't stand peanuts, for example, and you get some peanuts in your food and eat it and ingest it in some way, you could possibly die. I mean, I remember there was a story, a very sad story of a girl on an airplane and someone opened some peanuts near her, and even the dust in the air was enough to cause a very, very serious food allergy. So these are serious, important things. Even if you're lucky enough to not have one, many people out there do have them and do have to deal with them daily. So let's find out all about food allergies, what they are, how they occur, and what people can do about them. Food allergies, when your body doesn't like what you eat. Food allergies are fairly common. Many people have experienced a food allergy at some point in their lives and must therefore pay careful attention to ingredient labels and their overall food choices. Allergic reactions to food occur when our immune systems act up in response to something we've eaten. The immune system is supposed to protect us from illness, but in some people, it overreacts to proteins in certain foods. When these foods are eaten, the body releases chemicals like histamine that cause allergy symptoms. Many people are born with food allergies that disappear as they get older. However, some unlucky people never grow out of them, and others develop allergies later in life. The most common allergy triggers are milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts like almonds, fish, shellfish like shrimp and crab, wheat, soy, and sesame.
大家好，第一部分介绍形容词 overall， 意思是整体的或是总的。例如 The team's overall performance in last week's game was excellent. 该球队在上周比赛的整体表现非常杰出。或者 The overall mood of the event was festive, with laughter and music filling the air. 这场活动的整体氛围很欢乐，笑声和音乐弥漫在空中。接着看到这个名词 symptom， 表示疾病的症状或是征兆。例如 Common symptoms of the flu include coughing and sneezing. 流行性感冒常见的症状包含咳嗽和打喷嚏。或是 Nausea and dizziness are symptoms of food poisoning. 恶心和头晕是食物中毒的症状。
My goodness, that was a very long first part of our lesson, so let's break it down and explain it to you. Again, we're talking about food allergies, and yes, your body will not like what you eat in some situations. Now, food allergies are quite common. They are around in lots of places. Many people have experienced a food allergy at some point in their lives and must therefore pay careful attention to ingredient labels and their overall food choices. So if you suffer from a food allergy, you need to watch out for these things. You need to be careful about what you eat. You need to pay special attention to those labels on the products to see if they have certain ingredients in those products that will cause you to have an allergic reaction. And yes, you also need to be aware of your overall food choices. Overall just means general, considering everything, taking everything into consideration. You need to basically examine your entire diet, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 宵夜.
Yeah, so what's happening here? It says allergic reactions to food occur when our immune systems act up in response to something we've eaten. That's a very good, simple description of what is going on in our body. They occur or they happen, these allergic reactions, when our immune systems act up. When something acts up, it kind of goes into action. It does something. It starts to perform or behave in some kind of way. We can use it to talk about people's behavior. If children start to act up, their parents might tell them to be quiet or behave or something like that. Or if you have kind of a lingering problem that's always there, but it's not always a sort of in effect, it's not always causing a problem, you can say it's acting up. A lot of people might have a skin condition that if it gets very hot or their skin gets very wet or something like that, they start to itch more and it starts to get red. But other times of the year when they have a special medicine, it's all under control. So if something is acting up, now it's starting to do what it does, and often in kind of a negative way. But here it's a good thing when your immune system acts up. I mean, it means you're fighting a sickness, but your immune system should help to keep you safe from that sickness, because that's what your immune system is. To be immune to something is to not be affected by something, to be able to resist something or fight it off in some kind of way. So our immune system is basically like your white blood cells and those things that go into action when bacteria and viruses enter your body. Your immune system's attack them. It might make you feel sick, but your immune system is protecting your body from becoming more sick or becoming damaged permanently. It says the immune system is supposed to protect us from illness, but in some people it overreacts to proteins in certain foods. So basically an allergic reaction is your immune system doing its job too well. It's overreacting. It's sort of going too far beyond what is required, beyond what is needed or necessary or even desired or wanted in order to protect you from things like peanuts that shouldn't really be dangerous to you.
That's what happens, and you have this allergic reaction. When these foods are eaten, the body releases chemicals like histamine that cause allergy symptoms. A symptom simply is a sign of a disease. If you're allergic to something, you might start coughing, you might have a runny nose. There are other ways you can react to various things that you're allergic to, maybe a headache or something, or maybe you'll even fall down or something like that.
Yeah, it also says many people are born with food allergies that disappear as they get older. So that is one kind of good news. If you were allergic to something as a child, you might not be allergic to it as a grown-up. I think doctors also recommend giving some of these foods that people often have allergies to, things like nuts or honey. Give those to kids when they're quite young and sort of introduce them to their bodies, to allow their bodies to sort of figure out what's going on with this weird protein and maybe not develop an allergy. But of course, this is something you should talk to your doctor about. But you can be born with them, but they might disappear or go away over time. If something disappears, well, more literally, you can see it and then you can't see it. It has suddenly vanished, in other words. But we can also use it to talk about things that we can't necessarily see. Your love could disappear. Your love for someone could disappear at the end of the romance. It just goes away. Something that existed does no longer exist, like an allergy. However, some unlucky people never grow out of them and others develop allergies later in life. Yes, so some people will always have that allergy. They will never grow out of it. We use this phrase, grow out of something, to talk about things that no longer apply to you, that change over time. A lot of kids might be interested in dinosaurs, but they might grow out of that interest, but some might not and become paleontologists or dinosaur scientists. But often you will grow out of things as you get older in your body, and of course your interests change. And others develop allergies later in life. Yeah, absolutely. I remember my father seemed to develop an allergy to pet hair in his 30s or 40s, much later in life.
Interesting. I may have gotten myself a food allergy later in life, but we'll talk about that later. The most common allergy triggers are milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, like almonds, fish, shellfish, like shrimp and crab, wheat, soy, and sesame. So
Quite a list.
Yeah, it's quite a list. We're going to have to go through them one by one, but these are allergy triggers. A trigger is just something that causes something. A gun has a trigger, of course. If you pull the trigger, then it shoots a bullet out of the gun and it goes toward the target. So here, these are triggers or things that cause allergies, and we've got all sorts of things here. At the end here, we've got sesame, which is zhima in Chinese. Let's move on now to the second part of our lesson. We'll listen first.
Food allergy symptoms can vary from mild to life-threatening. Common symptoms include itchy or red skin, as well as swelling of the lips, tongue, and face. Additionally, sufferers may experience stomach pain and vomiting, along with sneezing, coughing, and breathing difficulties. In severe cases, people can develop anaphylaxis, a dangerous reaction that causes a sudden drop in blood pressure and extreme breathing difficulties. There's no cure for food allergies, so people with allergies have to learn to live with them. They have to be very careful about what they eat to avoid accidentally consuming something harmful. Luckily, food labeling is improving, and restaurants are getting better at understanding the needs of allergy sufferers.
第二部分看到动词 vomit 指呕吐，例如 The disgusting smell made the man vomit. 那股恶心的味道让那名男子呕吐。也可以说 Maxine vomited several times as a result of the virus. Maxine 因为那种病毒吐了好几次。下一个介绍动词 sneeze 表示打喷嚏，可以说 Please cover your mouth and nose before you sneeze. 在打喷嚏前，请遮住你的嘴巴跟鼻子。又或者说 The flowers made Jim sneeze. 鲜花让 Jim 打喷嚏。继续看到 severe 这个单字，它是形容词，指十分严重的、极恶劣的或是严厉的。例如 The pain was so severe that I had to see the doctor. 疼痛严重到我得去看医生。再看一个例子 Jay suffered severe burns to parts of his face. Jay 的脸上有部分遭到严重烧伤。
Food allergy symptoms can vary from mild to life-threatening. That's another dangerous part of it. You might have a mild reaction to something, but it could be much more serious or even life-threatening another time if you eat this certain food. So mild is very light. In other words, it's not very much, it's not very powerful. We use this often with things that range in intensity or power. A mild storm won't be so bad. You won't be afraid of it taking your roof off your building. And often if you're kind of like me and you don't like spicy food, you might ask for mild spice on your food or something like that. Not too strong. Mild would be obviously the opposite of strong. So if you had a strong allergic reaction, it could be life-threatening. It could threaten your life or be potentially deadly or possibly kill you.
Exactly. So, of course, there's a range of reactions or a range of symptoms. Common symptoms include itchy or red skin, as well as swelling of the lips, tongue, and face. So these are common symptoms. If something's itchy, it causes you to scratch it with your fingers. Ooh, this is very itchy. I need to scratch my skin. And, of course, you might get a rash or red skin, as well as, or in addition, you might get swelling of the lips. Swelling, of course, is when they get bigger, and you'll not only have swelling in the lips, but possibly in the tongue and the face, or maybe other parts of your body.
Yeah, and that can be dangerous, right? Sometimes people, their throats can swell and they have trouble breathing, and that could cause a life-threatening reaction for sure. Additionally, sufferers may experience stomach pain and vomiting, along with sneezing, coughing, and breathing difficulties. Yeah, none of these are fun things to experience, especially when you just had a cookie with some nuts in it and you were enjoying that, and suddenly your body gets very angry with you. Stomach pain, so feelings of like a stomach ache. Vomiting, like you're going to throw up your food. So vomiting is something your body will do to get rid of food that it has swallowed that is poisoning you or causing you some kind of nasty reaction. Your body will vomit or throw up that food. You could sneeze, like when you have a cold. Achoo! Your body is trying to get rid of things that might be in your nose or in your mouth or throat. Coughing as well, breathing difficulties. difficulties, all of that can be part of having a fairly strong allergic reaction. And then it says in severe cases, people can develop anaphylaxis, a dangerous reaction that causes a sudden drop in blood pressure and extreme breathing difficulties. This is where we're getting into life-threatening territory. In a severe case, if something is severe, it's very strong and not in a good way. All right, so if your boss is severely angry about something you did, you might be in danger of losing your job. Or going back to that storm analogy, when we talk about a mild storm, that's not too bad. A severe storm, that can be very dangerous. That could be like a typhoon with very powerful winds. So something strong with a lot of negative effects we often describe as being severe, and having an anaphylaxis reaction could be a very severe reaction that could result in death.
It could, and if you have an allergy, well, can you take a pill to cure it? Can you have an operation? Nope, there's no cure for food allergies, so people with allergies have to learn to live with them, okay? You just have to get used to it. You have to live with it. You have to continue living even though you have this problem. They have to be very careful about what they eat to avoid accidentally consuming something harmful. So to consume, of course, means to eat something, to put it into your body. Luckily, food labeling is improving, and restaurants are getting better at understanding the needs of allergy sufferers. And that is very good because, of course, restaurants don't want their customers to drop dead on them while they're having a meal. So, of course, they're going to be very sensitive about people having these allergies. And, of course, they need to be sensitive, otherwise people might sue them.
All right, let's take a look at the next part of our article. Some allergy sufferers can work with doctors to build up tolerance to certain foods through a treatment called oral immunotherapy. However, most must simply seek quick treatment when exposed to dangerous foods. Mild symptoms can often be treated with medicines known as antihistamines. Severe reactions may require an injection of adrenaline or a trip to the hospital. Food allergies are difficult to manage and can often be dangerous. It's important that everyone is aware of the symptoms of food allergies so that sufferers can live healthy, safe lives.
第三部分看到名词 tolerance， 表示对药物等的耐受性，但也可以是宽容或是容忍的意思。可以说 Martha does not have much tolerance for that bitter pill. Martha 不太能忍受那颗很苦的药丸。也可以说 I've provided you with a chart showing the tolerance ranges of steel. 我已经提供你一份显示钢材耐受范围的表格。最后看到名词 injection， 意思是注射，也可以是投入。举例来说 I hate to say it, but this medication can only be taken via injection. 我不愿意这么说，但这个药物只能经由注射治疗。或者 The doctor gave me an injection of medicine to cure the disease I had. 这位医生注射了一针，用来治疗我所患的疾病。
Okay, we've arrived at the third and final part of our lesson for today. Let's wrap things up here. It says, some allergy sufferers can work with doctors to build up tolerance to certain foods through a treatment called oral immunotherapy. Okay, so here, of course, if you suffer from an allergy, you could get together with your doctor. The doctor's not going to be able to cure you, but the doctor may help you build up a tolerance to certain foods that you are allergic to. So to build up just means to make something bigger and bigger, to construct something and make it more and more effective. Here, you want to build up your tolerance to certain foods. Tolerance is your ability to handle things, to be able to have a controllable reaction to something. You might want to tolerate people if they're like annoying or something and they work in your office, but you have to work with them. I need to tolerate those people. I just need to put up with them. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of trouble. And yes, you need to build up that tolerance to those certain foods. And this, of course, is through a treatment which is called oral immunotherapy, therapy that has something to do with your immune system.
Very, very interesting. All right. However, most must simply seek quick treatment when exposed to dangerous foods. So, yes, there are certain treatments, there are certain things your doctor or a hospital can help, but it says, most people must simply seek quick treatment, must run to the doctor or the emergency room when they find themselves exposed to dangerous foods. So, if you start to feel some of the symptoms that we described earlier, the sneezing, the coughing, or even worse, an anaphylaxis reaction, you have to quickly get to a doctor or get quick treatment, and that is, of course, when you are exposed to these dangerous foods. So if you're basically unprotected, left there vulnerable and weak for any bad thing to happen to you, you're quite exposed, and having a good immune system, of course, prevents your body from being exposed to things like flu, which could possibly kill you. Mild symptoms can often be treated with medicines known as antihistamines. These are things you can often buy in drugstores. Those should hopefully help you. Severe reactions may require an injection of adrenaline or a trip to the hospital. So yes, that is much more serious. An injection, we also just call this a shot, when they use syringe with a needle to put medicine under your skin or into your vein. They're giving you some kind of injection. Most of us got a couple of injections in the last few years for COVID-19, right? We get those COVID-19 vaccines not as a pill, not as a liquid that you drink and swallow, but as a shot or an injection. Here you're getting, though, an injection of adrenaline, which is kind of a natural chemical substance in our body. Adrenaline is sort of that fight drug. When we get into a dangerous situation, our body has that fight or flight. You're either going to fight off the dog that's attacking you or try to run away. Well, adrenaline will give you that extra energy, that extra muscle power to sort of fuel your body in sort of extreme situations. But it is basically just a natural hormone. Technically, it's epinephrine, apparently, and it's extracted from animals and humans. And it can be used in many different medical purposes and medical reasons. And one of those would be for an extreme allergic reaction.
And here's the final paragraph. It says, food allergies are difficult to manage and can often be dangerous. That much is true. It's important that everyone is aware of the symptoms of food allergies so that sufferers can live healthy, safe lives. So not only you need to be responsible for knowing these symptoms and these situations yourself if you are a sufferer, but those around you should be sensitive to those needs as well. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Here comes Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 今天要练习文意选填的题型，我们先快速的浏览题目的10个选项。 A. overreacts 它表示产生过度反应，注意它是单数动词。 B. triggers 它可以当复数名词来表达诱因起因，它其实也有可能是单数动词，可以表达引起引发的意思。 C. exposed 这个 expose 这个动词表示使接触到、暴露或揭露，那这边它有可能是 expose 的过去式或过去分词。过去分词可以当形容词来表达像无遮蔽的或是暴露于风雨中的等等。再看到 D. build up 它当及物用法可以表达建立什么什么，可能像是建立什么的数量或能力，也可以表达积聚啊、增加、增强等等。那如果做不及物用，可以表达出逐渐增加、逐渐累积的意思。选项 E. life-threatening 它可以形容威胁生命的、致命的。那么 F. occur 这个动词表示发生、出现。 G. swelling 它可以当名词来表达肿胀处、肿块。那这个字有可能是 swell 的现在分词，当形容词来描述肿胀的、鼓起的。再来看到 H. live with 就是表达与什么共处，也可以去表达那种就是接受并忍受无法改变的现实困境或令人不悦的情形。那么选项 I. disappear 这个动词表示消失。那么 J. consume 这个动词它有吃喝或是消耗，像消耗能源等等的意思，在这边它有可能是 consume 的动名词或是现在分词。那么现在分词作为形容词可以描述消费的或是消耗时间或精力的。好，那现在看完选项，我们可以来做题目咯。我们看到第一题，他说 allergic reactions to food 空格 when our immune systems act up in response to something we've eaten。空格前面的主词他说 allergic reactions to food， 然后空格后方是 when 引导的副词子句。从句子结构判断，空格里面应该填入搭配复数主词的不及物动词，而且时态应该是现在式哦。那符合条件的选项有 D. build up， F. occur， I disappear。根据句，他提到说，当我们的免疫系统对所吃的东西产生反应时，就会怎么样？食物过敏反应。这边应该就是要表达，就是有过敏反应的产生发生，所以因此最适合答案要选 F occur。好，再来第二题，他提到说什么什么 ，But in some people it 空格 to proteins in certain foods， 空格前面是 it。也就是代指 immune system 免疫系统，那么空格后面接了 to proteins in certain foods， 那空格里面就应该填入现在式的第三人称单数动词，而且是不及物用法，并且最好能够搭配这个介系词 to。符合这些条件的选项就只有 A overreact， 可以用来表达说，但对某些人来说，免疫系统会对某些食物中的蛋白质产生过度反应。好，那么再看到第三题，他说 Many people are born with food allergies that 空格 as they get older。句子里面的 that 空格 as they get older， 这是用 that 引导的形容词子句，用来修饰先行词 food allergies。那根据句意跟文法判断，空格应该填入可以搭配复数主词的不及物动词，而且时态是现在式。符合条件的选项有 D build up 和 I disappear。那根据句子的意思，他说许多人生来就有食物过敏，但随着年龄增长而怎么样？可是我们看到课文后一句提到说，然而有些不幸的人永远无法摆脱他们。我们看到这两句其实有对比关系哦，可以推断答案应该选择跟永远无法摆脱他们的语义相对的动词，所以正确答案应该选 I disappear。看到第四题，他说 The most common allergy 空格 are milk, eggs, peanuts 点点点。从句子结构判断，空格应该填入可以当主词的复数名词。好，那符合这个条件的选项只有 B triggers， 就可以表达说最常见的过敏诱发因素为牛奶、鸡蛋、花生等等。好，那我们再看到第五题，他提到说 Food allergy symptoms can vary from mild to 空格。好，那从句子的结构判断，空格里面应该填入形容词，或者是可以作为形容词的分词。符合的条件选项有 C exposed、E life-threatening、G swelling 和 J consuming。那根据语义呢，最适合的选项会是 E life-threatening， 来表达说食物过敏症状各异，从轻微到危及性命都有。好，那我们再看到第六题，他提到 Common symptoms include itchy or red skin as well as 空格 of the lips, tongue and face。空格前面有连接词 as well as， 那它前面提到 itchy or red skin， 空格后面则是 of the lips, tongue and face。根据语义判断呢，空格应该填入与过敏症状相关的名词。符合条件的选项就只有 G swelling， 表达说常见症状包括皮肤痒或发红，以及嘴唇、舌头和脸部发肿。好，那我们看到第七题，他说 There's no cure for food allergies, so people with allergies have to learn to 空格 them。 那空格前面是 learn to，那空格后面则是代名词 them。 根据句子结构，空格应该填入原形及物动词。符合的选项有 D build up 和 H live with。 根据语义推断，答案应该是 H live with， 表达说食物过敏没有治愈方法，因此过敏患者必须学会与之共处。我们再看到第八题，他提到 They have to be very careful about what they eat to avoid accidentally 空格 something harmful。 空格前面有这个动词 avoid 的用法是要在后面接名词或动名词。那我们看到空格后方是 something harmful， 根据这个句子的结构，空格里面应该填入动名词。那符合的选项只有 J consuming， 表达说他们必须非常注意所吃的东西，以避免意外的食用有害的东西。看到第九题，他说 Some allergy sufferers can work with doctors to 空格tolerance to certain foods。 空格前面有 to， 那么空格后方是名词 tolerance。 根据句子判断，空格应该填入原形及物动词。那选项只剩下 D build up。 当我们说这个 build up tolerance to 加名词，就是表达建立对什么的耐受性，在这边是符合语义的，可以表达说有些过敏患者可以与医生合作来增强对某些食物的耐受性。好，那么最后一题他提到说 Most must simply seek quick treatment when 空格 to dangerous foods。 根据句子结构，空格前面有 when， 后面呢它接了 to dangerous foods。 我们可以知道空格前方应该是省略了相同的主词和动词。那根据语义判断，这边应该填入表示被动的过去分词，符合语义的选项就只有 C exposed。Be exposed to 加名词就可以表达接触到什么，使暴露于什么，在这边符合语义，就可以表达说大多数人在接触危险食物时必须寻求快速的治疗。好，那么以上这件讲解，我们就来回顾今天的单字吧。
Overall. An overall improvement in customer satisfaction was observed this quarter. Immune. A healthy diet can improve the immune system's ability to fight off illnesses. Symptom. Fever and muscle aches are common symptoms of the flu. Mild. The doctor said the injury was mild and would heal quickly. Vomit. Kelly came home to find that her dog had vomited on the kitchen floor. Severe. Mr. Monroe was taken to the hospital due to severe chest pain. Tolerance. Jocelyn's tolerance for spicy food increased as she began eating it more often. Injection. Travis was nervous before receiving the injection, but said it wasn't painful.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Roger.
I am Mike.
See you next time.